Which Korean word or phrase did you learn recently? Share them in the comments and also let me know what kind of sentence can you make with it. Something that you will say or hear in your real life situations. So everyone, how do you like to learn new vocabulary words? 여러분은 새로운 단어를 어떻게 배우시나요? Do you use flashcards, simple word lists, or do you try to learn them just through natural exposure and immersion, just by talking to your friends or watching TV shows? And how hard or easy is it for you to learn and remember new words? Different people have different approaches, but today let's think about the most practical and realistic way to learn new Korean words. Spoiler alert, there is no crazy secrets revealed in this video, but this one crucial step that I'm about to emphasize in this video is going to be really important in your language learning. By the way, my name is Hyunwoo and you're watching Talk to Me in Korean. So typically there's quite a wide gap between the moment you learn a new word or phrase and the time you will get to actually use it or see it used in real life. This gap can be a few days, weeks, months, or even years. And the longer the gap is, the more likely you will just forget the word. So what we want to do is shorten this gap. In other words, use the new word that you just learned as soon as possible in real life. With your native language, this is fairly easy because you speak it and hear it every day. But with a foreign language, 외국어, most people don't get to use the language as often. So we need a different approach for that. One of the most powerful tools you can use at this stage for this purpose, yet something that is not emphasized enough in my opinion, is sample sentences, 예문. 예문. Sample sentences are one of the easiest ways you can see how a word can be used. Therefore, good vocabulary books, such as our own Talk to Me in Korean books, will always have a lot of good, realistic sample sentences, or where sentences are not suitable, those books will provide other types of context clues to help you see when and how the words are going to be used, like drawings, collocations, dialogues, or related expressions. So if you like to review with your flashcards, that's great. That can be also very effective for memorizing a large amount of words in a short time. But I recommend that you also add short sample sentences to your flashcards app to learn even better. Just by knowing one standalone word by itself doesn't automatically guarantee that you will be able to use it when the necessity arises. Words are meant to be used in sentences, so you need to learn them through sentences, or word groups at least, or stories. And on Twitter, we get a ton of questions like, 선생님, what is the difference between this word and this word? I know the translations are the same. And we're happy to answer those questions, but many learners actually ask those questions because they did not learn those words through context or sentences. Let me demonstrate how you can learn words better through sentences, okay? If you're looking up one word in the dictionary, you will have one new word and several sample sentences that you can work with. If you're also studying with a vocabulary book or a course, you will probably see or have many new words and one or two sample sentences for each word. What I recommend that you do is, regarding each sample sentence that you're seeing here, ask yourself these questions. Which purpose does this sentence serve? Can I use it as is in my own situation in the future, in the near future? Or does it at least help me understand the usage of this new word? If the answer is no to both of these questions, you don't really need that sentence right now. Either find a new one or change it so that it serves one of the two purposes, okay? Again, can you use it for your own situation as is without changing it? Is it a good enough sentence for you? Or if not, does it at least help you understand the usage of the new word? Does it give you the, oh, I see kind of effect? So let's look at some word examples, okay? So you have these words and accompanying phrases in your book. 정리하다, 정리하다. And the sample sentence is 저는 제 방을 정리했어요. And the next word is 시험. And you have 내일 영어 시험이 있어요. So you have to ask yourself these questions. Can I use these as is? These two sentences are pretty general sentences, so you can pretty much say, okay, I get it, and then go to the next step, such as saying them out loud several times, adding them to your flashcards, or writing them down in your notebook, depending on your preference. Or you can sort of fine-tune it to suit your situation even more. Let's look at another example and work with it. So, The next word might be, for example, 통증, pain, physical pain. And you have the next sentence, which is 어깨에 통증이 있어요. Maybe I wrote it because I sometimes have pain in my shoulders. But 어깨에 통증이 있어요. But what if you only have pain in your wrists? Then you might want to just look up the word for wrists, which is 손목, and then tweak the sentence to be 손목에 통증이 있어요. 의사 선생님, 저 손목에 통증이 있어요. Or 손목에 통증이 있어서 왔어요. Things like that. And of course, in the process of tweaking the original sample sentence like this, you might need to, for example, to use dictionary or use machine translation services like DeepL or ChatGPT or Google Translate, to make your sentence more specific. For example, if you want to make a sample sentence saying, before I study, I need to first organize my desk, using one of the words that we learned earlier, 정리하다. This is the Google Translate translation. And this one is from DeepL, and this one is from ChatGPT. Mostly the same, all pretty good. Machine translation isn't perfect yet, and all three of these sentences are missing 부터, which is what I would add to the sentence to mean first, like 책상부터 정리해야 돼요, or 책상 정리부터 해야 돼요. But for the purpose of learning this new word better, which is 정리하다, any of these sentences is good, as long as it can fit your own situation, or you can imagine yourself saying it or hearing it in a real life situation. So to summarize what I just explained, if you are studying vocabulary and don't feel like you are improving by much, you can learn a little more effectively through good sample sentences, good dialogues that can help you visualize yourself using or hearing the word that you just learned. Just go one step further, one step closer to that actual usage experience moment. Between a person who does this all the time and a person who never does this, there will eventually be a very, very big accumulative difference. And more importantly, having this habit of thinking about how you can apply a new piece of knowledge, in this case it's a new word, to your own life will help you with your overall language learning, including grammar, idioms, and proverbs. So, if you've watched this far, which Korean word or phrase did you learn recently? Share them in the comments and also let me know what kind of sentence can you make with it. Something that you will say or hear in your real life situations, okay? And if you'd like to study with our full systematic curriculum, please come and join us at our website at talktomeinkorean.com. I'll be waiting for you there.